Hey, what is happening, folks? It's Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you back another year-end video of the good, the bad, the awesome, where we review, unbox, give my personal opinion and first reactions of all things pop culture, mainly Star Wars, Transformers, anime, McFarlane figures, sprinkled in with everything else. That was a mouthful. So if this is your first time here and you love that stuff, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, because it only helps. And if you've been here before, thank you so much. So we are gonna finish out my Transformers week with another Transformer I just got. It's a Gamer Edition Transformers from the War For Cybertron game. It is the Starscream. Now I have all the other characters that I have not opened yet, but I am excited to open this one to see if it really is that cool. So let's do it. And here it is, folks, Gamer Edition Starscream from the Transformers War For Cybertron video game. If any of y'all never played it, I didn't really get a chance to play it, but it came out in about 2010 for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo DS, and Microsoft Windows. But it's set on the planet Cybertron before they get to Earth during the Civil War. So, and then Hasbro worked with the video game designers and stuff like that to design unique character designs for these for this game. But this is Starscream, one of my favorite characters from Transformers. Starscream, Transformers, Optimus, Starscream, Megatron, Optimus Prime. They also released a Cliffjumper and Bumblebee too as well. So we have those. We haven't reviewed them yet, but this is Starscream. Just came out. Got them in the mail from Amazon. Retails around $34.99, but here it is. And again, one of the things I am going to have to say where Hasbro took some feedback is the cardboard on this box is a lot thicker and a lot better quality. You know, just again, I wish they had the plastic, you know, kind of there so that way people can't remove heads and stuff, but they made it kind of a little more difficult to remove these bots out of here, and they went back to the plastic kind of, you know, just things to hold them. But here's the front with the artwork for Starscream, the side, the back, 27 steps to transform him. He's got this big mace and a big gun right there, and then we have a backdrop too for this here, and then we have this on the side, on the bottom, all the obligatory stuff. But it's not what is on the outside that counts, it's what's on the inside that counts. So let us open this box up. So here is everything that comes out of the package. Pro tip, don't forget to look at the back of where you get Starscream out, because there is something there. You don't want to throw it away. Let me lower my camera just a little bit so we can kind of see what all we get. So first of all, we get our instructions and then all the obligatory legal stuff that you get. So I'll probably be using those. Here's the mace, the big part right there, and I believe this is the piece that holds it together there, maybe like that. So yeah, very cool. Nice little mace there. We got the gun, and then these two pieces here, which I don't know what they're for yet, but we will soon figure it out. We also got Starscream and then the backdrop, which looks very, very cool. That's what I like about Studio Series. You get a backdrop that you can put it on. But then we have Starscream himself, and my first impressions, this is kind of a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this guy. First of all, I love the colors. I love the way he looks, but this right here, this is huge. This yellow cockpit right there, it kind of reminds me of, what's the game that came out not too long ago? It had Norman Reedus, Death Stranding. You know, like I'm expecting a fetus in here, and that he's having to deliver packages all over God's green earth and things like that. Starscream and Death Stranding, but it feels real solid. I mean, this looks cool. Not much of a backpack, but it's very, very cool. I love the coloring of it and things like that. Now, I didn't have the original toy, and I'm assuming the original toy had this big old cockpit too as well. But yeah, that's just huge. But everything else is very nice on this. So let me bring him in for a closer inspection, and we can kind of take a look here. And I'm going to pop the camera up just a hair. But look at that face. That face looks really cool. I mean, just more stoic, where most of the time I see Starscream, he's like laughing or screaming or something like that. This has a bit more of a stoic looking face. Details, really, really nice. Oh, hand came off. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. And that's not a good start for you, Starscream, to have your hand come off like that. But there he is. I didn't even touch that hand and it just came off. But let me go ahead and give you kind of the rotisserie view of him here. I do like that back. That looks cool. But I have a thing for jets, like I said before. Now, I don't have any of the Tetra jets except for Nacelle or Nasal or whatever, how you're going to pronounce them. But this looks pretty cool. This right here is a little distracting to me, but oh well. But there he is from a size standpoint when you take a look from my knife there. But from an articulation standpoint, I mean, you get head up, head down, side, swivel, swivel. Arm can come up like so. You have the bend here, but I think you also have a bend here, so it's like a double elbow bend on that. So that's cool. Does it bend backwards? Yeah, you got a backwards kind of bend there. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to do that, but you also got the swivel here and the swivel here too as well on the arm. Same thing on the other side too as well. Waist, you have a turn, but it's not 360 because the legs kind of get in the way. If the legs didn't get in the way, you probably could 360 it. And then the legs, you can Jean-Claude Van Damme that baby. Get him kind of really in the splits, and then you have the twist here. And then as far as a bend, 90 degrees, back, forward, you can get it up pretty high right there. So that's what you're looking at. And then from the feet, there's these do move, so I guess you can kind of pose these where they need to go that help with kind of like an ankle rock or something like that. So but let's get him posed back here like so. But there he is. That's a little bit about him. So here's the weapons just up close. There's that big old mace that looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool. I'm going to put that in his hand right here. I still want to figure out what these two little red things are for. I'm sure I'll figure it out here in just a moment. Then we'll put this gun in this hand, I think. There we go. And there. Now he's got his weapons. But let me find out what that's for, and then we'll also compare him to some other bots. So give me just a sec. Okay, figured out what those red things for. They go right here. Right there on that. So, okay. Very cool. And it looks like they can turn out like so. So they've got to be like, oh, they come out. They come off very easily, but they can kind of turn out like so according to the picture. There we go. And that's how he's supposed to look, like that. But here he is with some of his fellow Starscreams and other bots here. So we have Core Class Starscream, Voyager Class Starscream right there, the original right there from the Transformers Retro line. And then we also have our Legend Scale Iron Factory Cyclonus. And then our Titans Return, Black Shadow, aka Sky Shadow, back there as well. So this is how he looks and how he scales with some other bots and things like that. But let's get ready to look at him in alt mode. So let's let's transform him into his jet. Here is Starscream in jet mode. I don't know why Starscream sounds like a whiny wuss, but that's him. But this is Starscream and how he looks in his Cybertronian jet. and the instructions were not as clear as I wanted them to be, so I had to reference a couple videos. But overall, the transformation, I would say, is medium, not hard, but not necessarily easy, but medium on that. But let's just take a look at it and kind of share some of my points on this. First of all, I do like how it looks, except for a couple things. First of all, now I can see why the cockpit is so big. I mean, it kind of matches the shape of this ship, so I guess it has to be that big. But what I don't like is this gappy stuff right here. It's just, you know, I think there could have been some kind of filler or something right there that could have filled that area, but the back half of it looks great. So if I was to look at the back half of this ship, awesome. Front half can use a little bit of love on this, but from the side I think it's okay. The bottom, I mean, you can see his hands. The thing you got to remember is to turn that head around so that way you don't have him staring at you, but you can kind of see it's a robot with a jet body on that. The arms don't like to tab in as good as I want them to, but oh well, that's okay. But overall, I mean, it's a pretty cool looking jet. Let me pull my camera up so that way we can see that a little bit better. But yeah, pretty cool. Again, just wish there was something covering that. But one of the things you can do, you can take the weapons and you can tab them into the back here, and it makes a good storage for the weapons. So we'll put the big old mace here, the great mace of Tutankhamun. Or, come on. I said it would make a great place to store weapons, but then I lied. And then the gun you can store right here. Almost looks like a Megatron, but it's not. Megatron, I think, is a tank in this game. But there you go. So now you got a fully loaded Starscream with a... the mace doesn't make sense there, but that's okay. I didn't play the video game, so maybe that's the way it looks in the video games. The wings here, back here, you can pose them however you want to. I like them kind of down. I think the look looks really good that way. But you can have them more straight on if you want to. But just at an angle down, I think looks much better. So there it is from the side, from the top, from that side, from the bottom, from the front, and from the back right there. And so that we have Starscream. And then of course with Blade, you can kind of see how long, according to Blade, he is there. But let's see how he looks compared to some other vehicles. So just for comparison, some other vehicles, the only thing I have in jet mode is my masterpiece Starscream here. So that's what we got to compare him to, is that masterpiece one there. But then we have the War for Cybertron Starscream. We got Core Class Bumblebee, and then of course Blitz Wing there as well. So if I wanted to, let's move these guys out of the way just to kind of show you. Let's see, I got this little flight stand, and it works pretty decent if you kind of put it right around. There's the chest part right here that I can kind of get that wrapped around a little bit, and it just kind of rests on that flight stand. But there we go. So you can kind of see how he looks compared to that Starscream there. I mean, colors, he's more gray, but of course it is a Cybertronian jet. So overall, like I said, he's got some good and some bad. He's a little bit ugly towards the front, but the back looks great. So little butterface Starscream, and yeah, there we go. But let's get back together, talk through some of my final thoughts. Let me get him back into robot mode. Welcome back. So let's talk through my final thoughts on Gamer Starscream from War for Cybertron. So, rise, Starscream. There he is. Beautiful, 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 beautiful Starscream. Something, I forgot to do when I transformed him. I forgot to move his little wingies back here. So let's do that. Forgot to move him back. It's okay. We'll move it back later. That's all right. No worries. But pros on it, I do like its robot mode. I think its robot mode looks really cool. Just that the cockpit here is just a little too big for his body for me, but I think from the original toy it was like that too as well, and I think from the game it doesn't look as prominent, but yeah, it's just that. But I can see why. I mean, when you get into jet mode, it needs to be really proportionate, and I think it's more proportionate in jet mode. Now, I love the colors of him. I think he looks, I mean, gorgeous. These colors are amazing on it, and the articulation on him is really good. My cons is in jet mode, the front half leaves a little bit more to be desired. I mean, the cockpit area looks good, and then you get this like wide open gappy area, and then you get to the back half, which looks really good. So there's just, it seems like there could be like a panel or something that can go into that back half. Maybe someone will make one or do something with that, or maybe that's just accurate to the game. I don't know. It's, you know, I haven't played the game. I wish I could, but I don't have an Xbox 360. So hopefully they'll port that over to the Xbox One or the PS5. That would be awesome. But of course Activation has the license, and I think they lost some stuff. Anyway, I digress. But in jet mode, a little to be desired of, and then the instructions are not as clear as I would have liked them to be, like in some of the legacy lines. But overall, I think it's a pretty decent bot. I mean, once I get the other gamer bots out, I think we'll have some fun with it. But overall, on a scale of good, bad, awesome, I would say he's good. He's good. Not a pretty awesome, not a totally awesome, but I think he's good. I enjoy him. I'm not going to like throw him away or anything like that. He's not disappointing. It's just, you know, he doesn't just, he looks great in robot mode. The jet mode looks great partially, but just, again, just a few little like minor qualms for me, so to speak. But that's that. But yeah. So this is probably the last Transformers review for the year. So in the next year, we'll have all sorts of stuff. We got Transformers Victory stuff to go over. We have some more anime stuff that I got to get through. We got some Star Wars stuff. McFarlane figures out the wazoo. I mean, my garage is packed full of content to open for you all. I may not be the first one to the party with some of this stuff, but I may not even be the best dressed. But I'll be at that party, probably standing alone at the punch bowl, just going, you know, just crying to myself as the person I really loved in junior high school is dancing with someone else, and I didn't have the Can't Buy Me Love story or anything like that where boy meets girl, boy finds someone to help boy fall in love with girl and things like that. That wasn't me, but my Transformers loved me. Thank you, Transformers. So in the meantime, y'all, tune in next time when we talk about something good, bad, or awesome. But you remember to stay young, have fun, and be awesome, because that's more than meets the eye. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.